Thank you for being you and doing the thing that brings you joy and diving like head first into it. Because if you didn't do that, I wouldn't get the opportunity to interview dope people. So thank you for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. When you hit me up, I was like, about fucking time. About time.
That's funny.
Because I love to yap.
That's funny. Well, I'm glad.
And it's taken a lot of pressure off me because I'm usually you, you know, where I have to give this, you know, I guess like lay out for my guest and tell them how it works and stuff like that. So it just feels good to be on the other side.
You know, it's a lot to say when you talk about just being on the other side of the microphone because people, like I've said this a million times, people don't understand the stresses that come behind being a podcaster for real, especially if you're heavily into having guests on your show.
Right.
It's a real job. It's like a lift.
It is. It is. And it takes a lot out of you, like having to reach out to people, having to schedule them, having to meet them where their schedule is, having to, because what I like to do is I send out a form to all of like my potential guests and I just try to like gauge like, you know, what do you want to talk about on the show? Whether I know them or I don't really know them that well. What do you want to talk about on the show? What's off limits? Like, you know, I like to get to know them before they come on the podcast just so we can have like a better like working relationship. Because sometimes things that I discuss with guests outside of my pod may not be acceptable for the podcast.
Fair
and
enough.
I want to be fair and I want to be respectful to my guests.
Fair enough. I enjoy getting people that I don't know and not knowing nothing about them before we walk in here. I really enjoy it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And I love like, for instance, I interviewed Jared Stisher a couple weeks ago, and me and Jared, I've known him for.
I like that episode, by the way.
Thank you. I've known Jared for almost like 2 years now.
Okay.
But there were so many things that I learned about him. Like he didn't have a traditional background like in technology. It was in marketing, and so just kind of getting a lot of like insight from him from that podcast alone. That's probably one of my favorite episodes because he dropped so many gems.
He did.
And one thing about Jared is he's so locked in here in the city. And he's really good about like connecting you with the right people.
Yeah.
If you see Jared out, he is most likely on the go. But he'll say like, oh, hey, you need to connect with this person because they can help you with this. Or, hey, Angela can help you with this. Like, you should get on her podcast. You should listen to her podcast. Like, you should do this. You should do that. And people like that, they don't really realize how much of a difference they make like
Huge.
in your life and like your creativity.
Yeah.
And it keeps you inspired and it keeps you going.
Yeah.
When you know that you have people supporting you near and far.
Yeah. It's like having supporters with no incentive.
Exactly.
And I love that about people because that's the type of person I am. And I tell people all the time, once I follow you, I'm not somebody who follows you and just sees you. I am a follower.
Me too.
I will
engage.
repost everything. I engage.
Me too.
Very, 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 very much so. I engage.
Me too. I know you be seeing me like in the reposting.
For sure.
Like I comment. I am literally an avid like Instagram person. When I see like my people posting content, when they want me to engage in something, I'm good for like sharing. I don't even have to know what it's about.
Exactly.
You could say that you finna go rob a bank. I don't know. I'ma share
You
it.
with that.
All right. I'm with it. If that's what you want, look, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Look, we gonna share, get the word out. Like I'm just that
folks.
kind of person because I know I have people in my corner that will do that for me. And I don't just do it because of that. I do it because I love it. I do it because it brings me joy to see the people around me succeed and go after their dreams. So why not?
Yeah.
And it costs nothing.
Yeah.
It costs nothing.
I'm so glad you said that because that's how the main portion of it all is. This is costing me nothing to support you in this way. Whether you get one like from my followers or not, like this is support because that can change your whole trajectory of your show. And then on top of that, like when you truly like get the opportunity to reach somebody that you didn't know was needed you, it's truly a reward as a podcaster because it's like sometimes you feel like when you're doing the show and you're doing it for a long time, it doesn't feel like you're speaking to anyone because people don't come back and tell you.
Right.
It's like going and speaking to a crowd and then never hearing applause
no
afterwards.
feedback and stuff like that. Definitely.
It's a freaky feeling too because it's like, okay, well, I didn't get an applause for this speech that I just gave, but at the same time, should I do it again?
Right.
Did y'all like it? Did y'all not like it? Should I keep going? Should I not keep going? Should I pivot? But at the same time, you'll have somebody that'll come back randomly and tell you like, hey, I seen this episode of your show and it was amazing.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't know you watched, didn't know you were a follower, didn't know you watched the full episode.
Right. And it's always the people that you wouldn't think. But that's why I try not to walk around with a chip on my shoulder.
There you go.
And I try to maintain like humility.
Yeah.
Because I never want to meet a person where I'm so stuck up here to the point where I feel like everybody's entitled to understand how I feel. And everybody's entitled to digest my creativity and my art. They're not entitled to it. I do this because this is my passion. I don't do it for the applause.
Yeah.
I don't do it because I need people in my life to validate me. I do it because it's just, ever since I was younger, I've always felt like it was something on me that I needed to release to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I release it, it's yours. I'm done.
I'm done. I love that. And it's a beautiful thing to understand it about yourself, because some people don't know that they need to have an outlet or like they need to be pushing out something, but they just don't know what it is. So when you find your lane and and you have the ability to push that stuff out, it feels so good to release.
It does. It definitely does. Like I started this journey on the heels of grief.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would be right here, I wouldn't have believed you.
Nobody would.
I tell people all the time, growing up, I was very close to my grandfather. I did not have a relationship with my biological father. So for most of my life, I had my grandfather. And then my mom got remarried. And the man that she married that I call dad has been in my life since 2006. But before then, I just always had my granddad. And I would say like growing up with a single mom, and then when my mom got married, her and my dad, they worked so much because my stepfather had 3 kids, and then my mom had me and my brother.
Okay.
So they worked
That's
pretty
a
much.
big family.
Yes, they worked pretty much all the time. But we would have never known how much my parents struggled and stuff like that because they never showed us that.
Yeah.
Anytime that my parents needed to be present, they were present. I could look out, and if my dad wasn't there, if my granddad wasn't there, my mom was there. If my mom and my daddy weren't there, my granddaddy was there.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I always tell people like, now that I am rebuilding a relationship with my dad, now that my grandfather has passed, it has been amazing. But I always tell people I never went without a father figure. I always had people in my life to inspire me, people in my life to be there for me and my brother.
Yeah.
So it was never a lack. It was just, I just didn't have my dad.
Yeah. So can I ask you this?
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason, if you don't mind me asking, the reason that you didn't have a really good relationship with your dad?
So I really wouldn't know.
Fair.
My parents got divorced. My parents got divorced when I was pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say my brother was around 4 and I was around 6 or 7.
Okay.
I only remember that because oddly enough, and Mama, I'm sorry if I have to tell the story. It is what it is. I found out that my parents were getting a divorce because we had went to see my other grandparents, my mom's parents, and they live like 3 hours away from here. And I remember coming home and we were moving into a different place. My mom never sat me and my brother down and told us that, I'm getting a divorce with your dad.
Yeah.
We were young, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's literally how I found out we weren't living with our daddy no more.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure what happened and what the background was between my mother and my father. Both of them probably had their side of the story. I really don't care because in my head, it's more about me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really concerned of why they didn't stay together. That's none of my business. And I genuinely don't care. But I think for me, I grew up always wondering, like, why didn't he come around? Especially if my granddad, his father, was so, like, influential in our lives. And as time went on, I will say that I did build a lot of anguish towards him. It wasn't necessarily, like, the lack of a father. It was more towards, like, you see me accomplishing all these things. You see my brother accomplishing all these things, and you're not around.
Yeah.
What does that look like as a man? But for me, growing up with my granddad, it's funny because you would think with me being a girl, he would teach me, like be a lady and blah, blah, blah. But my granddaddy taught me how basically to play both parts.
Yeah.
He taught me how to be a hustler. So like my work ethic, my why stems from him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not my total why. I would say that myself and my child are my total whys, but just learning from him and just seeing how he maneuvered in life, how much he adored family, how much he prided himself in his work, how much he prided himself in being Black, how often he would tell us like how lucky we are to grow up in this city at this time,
Yes,
being
indeed.
Black, growing up in Collegeville in the 60s,
Mm-hmm.
going to Vietnam
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. He would tell us so many stories. And I remember even as a young child, like I would think to myself, if I ever lost my granddaddy, I would not know what to do because he has taught me so much. And even I would tell my friends, like, my parents love them to death. I love my mama to death. I would do anything for my parents. But I would always say, the moment I lose my granddaddy, that's it. That's it. And I'm
Yeah.
not even like,
I
I'm
hear
not
you.
joking. And if my parents were right here, they'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I did, I responded a lot better than what I thought I would have. But it was only because I thought about how much he instilled in me and how much he, like I said, going back to like having pride in like family, he would always tell me like, when I'm dead and gone, make sure that you take care of your brother.
Yeah.
That is your only priority.
It is. It is.
So going through that and going through the motions of having to be there for him when he unfortunately got cancer in 2024 and seeing him go down, it's like a part of me, like my light just kind of dimmed a little bit. And it's so funny because a couple of weeks before he died, I was, a part of me knew he was going to go. And I think he knew that he was going to go. But we would sit and we would have like intimate conversations. And one of the conversations that I remember is him giving me instructions on how he wanted me to take care of his estate, how he wanted me to rebuild that relationship with my dad, how he wanted me to kind of turn off the outside noise and finish school, raise my son, and just be happy. I remember one of the last things he told me was, I gave you all the tools. Now it's up to you to go out there and do it.
Oof.
And I remember telling him, Granddaddy, I can't do it. I literally cannot do it. And he's like, yeah, you can. He's like, you have no choice at this point. Ain't no turning back.
Yeah.
And a couple of days before he died, I remember me and my brother having to change him. And he had said a comment to the both of us. He was like, I never thought I'd see the day that my grandkids would have to change me. And I told him, I was like, everything you've ever done for me, it will be my honor to do this.
That's beautiful.
It would be my honor.
Yeah.
And the fact that that was one of the last things that I could have done for him, being of service to him, I carry that with so much pride. And that's literally one of the only things that I'm able to kind of like settle with when I am grieving him and I'm missing him. And the night he passed, I remember telling him, I was like, Granddaddy, if you can hear me wherever you are, because they say that there's a time period from when you pass versus, when you get to heaven or hell, regardless of how you feel or like, what you believe in.
Sure.
I remember saying a prayer when I was at home and I was like, Granddaddy, wherever you are, I was like, if you're going to come visit me in my dreams, because I don't want to miss you when I'm awake. Because I'm way too busy. You see, I got all this stuff on my plate. When you come see me, I need to know it's you. And every single time he has visited me in my dreams, he has left me with something, so much positivity in my life where I'm just like, there's no way that I will find a love as deep as that. It's that agape love that they talk about in the Bible. It's that everlasting love that Stevie Wonder talks about. It's the love that you kind of, not just from a partner, but a friend.
Yeah.
He was more than just my grandfather. He was my muse. He was a father to me. He was just feeling his love and understanding who he was to me allows me to do things like this. I kid y'all not, I would not be here if it was not because of that man.
Yeah.
I would not be here. I wouldn't have the grit and the grind that I have without him.
That's amazing.
And so any chance I get to tell my story and tell how he's inspired me, I'm going to tell it.
Yeah.
So
that's so dope. So first, I want to say, I think that that's a beautiful thing for you to be able to feel that pride about serving him in his last few days or hours or months or whatever that may be. Because oftentimes I feel like people don't realize how much you can do for someone on their way out that'll mean the world to you later on. So my great granddaddy was like that person to me. literally was my favorite human being that's ever walked the planet. Like legitimately.
Yeah.
And he passed away when I was like 17. And so he was legitimately a man. You know what I'm saying? Like he never like not took care of his kids.
Right.
He never not took care of it, didn't take care of his responsibilities. He was there for everybody. So much so that like the house that I think like 65% of the family that's been born since him has lived in the house that he built with his own 2 hands.
Wow.
Every single person has had their stint of living at granddaddy house, whether he was dead or alive.
Right.
You didn't live at granddaddy house before.
Yes.
And when he passed away, on the way to the funeral, well, let me say this. He passed away under some weird circumstances. He was older and like he was definitely on his way out the door. Like he was like 97. And like once he hit like
But that's a blessing though to see. Because they say we're only granted 70 years.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
And for him to see 27 more,
come on.
that's a blessing.
It's big.
Me personally, I don't want to see that many.
Really?
No.
If I'm in good health, let me see.
I am in good health.
If I'm in good health, which I'm trying to do my best to do so, if I'm in good health, keep me as long as you can.
But things are not the same anymore.
No.
I just think about like your great grandfather, how much positive change he saw throughout his years.
Yeah.
It's almost as if we're going back.
Oh, yeah, we're digressing.
I don't want to see that.
Nah,
I don't want to see, And so for me, it's just like that mindset of like, God, obviously take me whenever you want to take me.
Yeah.
But take me where I leave a good legacy and I am genuinely happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to look out into the world and feel so much sorrow.
Yeah.
And I leave this world with sorrow.
I feel that.
I don't want to do that.
I feel that. That's a big point. So when he died under weird circumstances, right? So I was at his house maybe like 25 minutes before he passed. And he definitely knew he was on his deathbed. Like they had him, you know what I'm saying, under care and everything 24 hours. But when I left, he was cool. Like my granddad was a jokester.
Yeah.
Like he always loved to play.
Yeah.
So like all jokes aside, he would play dead.
Yeah.
Like just because he thought it was funny.
My God.
Because he wanted to see how everybody would react. Yes.
Oh
so like
my
he
God,
would play.
He played too much.
But like my granddad was also serious at the same time. So it's like you just never knew who you was gonna get, right? So like for instance, like when I got my first job, I got my first check and I took like $10 to him and I gave it to him. I was like, here you go, granddad. I've never seen nobody fold money that many times before. Like he folded the $10 bill to dang near it said $0.
It sound like an old person.
Yeah. Like he was like, he's like, this me, frog? I said, that's for you, granddaddy. Then mine. I said, yeah.
You having the nickname frog is so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny because my granddaddy had a brother. He passed before I got here. His nickname was Frog.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, the irony.
And his daddy's nickname was Frog too.
Really? The irony. Right?
Yeah. Right.
And so he was like, that's mine, frog. I was like, yeah, he folded that junk up. Whatever. So the day that he passed, I was at his crib. I left. I used to live on 280. He lived on the west side, right? So I got home in like 15, 20 minutes. And by the time I walked in the door, my mom was already crying and everything. She was like, granddaddy gone. I was like, no, I just left.
Right.
Like he was chilling. I was like, is he playing or is he gone? Because he was just at the crib chilling. And the only person that was there was his caregiver. And when they did an autopsy on him, they said he suffocated. Right? But there was no proof as to exactly if there was foul play, right? So on the way to the funeral, we found out from the time that he died to the funeral, you know how black folks, it would take 6 months to bury somebody. The in-between time, we found out that we don't know if he convinced him or he did it himself, but he wrote the house over to that woman. He wrote all of his life insurance to that woman. In his will, he gave her everything. Everything. And so at this point, we was all like, oh, no, she killed granddaddy.
Yeah.
And so on the ride there, me and my cousins in the backseat, my grandma driving, me and my cousins in the backseat, my mom in the front. And me and my cousins talking about what we finna do. We finna catch her.
Oh, God.
We finna catch that.
Oh, God.
Catch that body. And so my mom and my grandma was telling us, like, you know, that's not the way to approach this. Like, and my grandma said this, and I promise you these words ring in my ears every day. She said that nothing you can do is compared to the wrath of God. And I've never forgot that. And that's why I don't think I'll be looking for my get back with people.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna let it ride, Granny. You right. Would you believe it? That lady got hit by a bus and she is paralyzed from the neck down.
Ain't no way.
Like legitimately like 3 months after the funeral. She's been paralyzed since then. Still alive to this day. stuck with bedside care for the rest of her life, right? So through legal actions, my mom and I got the house back in the family, right? I moved in, I started remodeling the house, and then my mom moved in. She started remodeling the house and doing her third thizzle, and we ended up selling it, right?
Yeah.
But it was just something weird about the fact that like my grandma said that and that happened. That was like confirmation, right? But the oddest thing happened when we got the house back. I moved in, and it was one night I was at the crib by myself, and I was just thinking about him, like how proud of me he would have been that like of the man that I became, because everybody knew that I was his favorite human, not like grandkid human.
Right. Yes.
And at that point, I had found a career. I was traveling for work. I was working for the government. I was making buku bread. I could have gave him $10 bills. You feel me?
Right.
And I just was like, man, Granddad would be so proud of me. I wish I could tell him.
Yeah.
And he built a back room in the house for his great grandkids. But everybody knew it was just my room.
Yeah.
So at that time, that was like my lounge. So I was back in my lounge, and it was two chairs, kind of like this next to each other. And I was like, I said out loud, dang, Granddad, I wish you was here so I can tell you how good I'm doing. And it looked like somebody sat down in the chair next to me. It looked like a person sat there. And this was my second time experiencing a spirit. The first time I was in the house looking at old bills, and I thought I heard him in the back room because he walked real heavy. So it sounded like I heard somebody get out of his bed and go in the bathroom, then go back in the room. But I ignored it. I'm not Fred. I'm not Scooby-Doo and them finna go check the ghost out. I'm good on that. I heard it, and I said, dang, that's crazy. And went back to sleep. I was like, oh, that's,
Right.
He put the pillow a little harder on that ear and go back to sleep.
Sure.
And so when it happened, I was like, wow, like you know what I'm saying? And so it was a crazy, crazy feeling, but it was like so much happening in him. It was grief, but at the same time, like I felt his presence, but at the same time, like I ain't know what presence I was feeling too, because a lot of people that stayed here, and my great grandma died in the same house too. So I'm like, if that's
she died in the house?
Yeah. My dad died in the bathtub, and Granddaddy died in his bed.
The bathtub?
Yeah, she was getting a bath. Yeah.
And she just...
Yeah, she had Alzheimer's?
Timers, yeah.
Oh, my granddad used to say old timers. You got
right.
that old timers.
Same thing.
Yeah. So, she passed away in the tub, and then he passed away in the bed. And so I was like, I don't know which one of y'all it is. If it's Medill, put that cornbread in the oven, please.
Okay.
Please.
Because if you're going to be here, stay here.
If you're going to be here, make yourself useful.
Hello.
You ain't going to pay no bill, but I need you to do something. I love y'all. I'm just playing, y'all.
Right.
So like I hear you when you say that, like that was your person for real. Like, and I get that so heavily. And I'm glad we can bond about that.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, welcome back to another episode of TalkVibeHustle, man, the podcast where we dive into the mind and the passion of the most influential and inspiring people in the city. Today, we got another dope podcast in the building. We got Angela, the host of Healing Not Hiding. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I am good. How are you?
I love pre-episode conversation.
Listen, like, you need a Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was, yeah, we definitely gonna talk after.
Yeah, for sure, you're right on.
It's a bunch more that I would love to tell you.
Oh yeah,
about that.
We're gonna have to dive deep one day then. Yeah,
it went deep.
Yeah,
it went deep.
It's first of all, it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm honored to have you here. I'm glad that you finally made it and we're able to make this happen. And I'm glad that you responded to me. We was right on it.
I don't play.
Yeah, I love
don't
it.
Play.
I love it.
Because I don't like to waste people's time. You know,
that part.
And it is not to say that like people who take a long time to respond are wasting your time, because people genuinely get busy.
Yeah.
But I like to be respectful of people's time.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago when I was working, somebody had told me showing up to work late or showing up to someone's event late is disrespectful to what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And so ever since I heard that, I've tried my best. It ain't always easy.
Yeah.
To make it two things, to respond promptly, to be respectful, and to just show up.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying like before, it costs nothing to show up. And you will never, there's a quote by Maya Angelou that says, you may forget the person, or I'm saying this loosely, I don't know it like quote by quote, but You may forget the person or like what they did for you or what you did for them, but you'll never
forget
forget it made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one thing that I always think about
Yeah.
when I'm talking to someone. How am I making them feel right now?
I literally love that quote.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way you are. I want to make sure that I am making people feel safe, welcome, valued, and heard. Every single time, no matter who it is in the chair. Because it's important.
It is.
It's very important how you show up for people, the way you show up for people, and what support looks like.
Exactly.
It's an important thing because I think people don't realize how little support other people have and what you do to support them and how big it is in their life. You know, I just think it's a missed like fact about like life in general.
It really is. And like I love when you say like how you choose to support them because support for everybody does not mean the same thing. Oof. I am one of those people, like I don't always have to have somebody up under me to support me. For me, it's just like me texting a friend like that I ain't talked to in a while, or them texting me saying like, hey, you were on my mind. How are you?
Yeah.
That's enough support for me.
Yeah.
Like where we can bond in that moment, go on about our business, and then in the next like couple of weeks, couple of months, we get back together again like nothing happened. I know for some people they feel like they need like hands-on support, but I'm one of those people like as long as I know you in my corner, I'm good. Loyalty means everything to me. Come on. And so having somebody like having my people in my corner, knowing who my people are, knowing who's supporting me, knowing who is pushing me, like that's enough for me. I don't have to talk to you all the time. You ain't got to send me Bible quotes all the time. You ain't got to send me, scriptures all the time. Like for me to feel your support, I know who's here for me and I know who is.
Yeah. It's funny too you say that because when I first started this journey of doing the pod, I was like, man, support is supposed to look like this. I'm like, I get upset with my friends because I'm like, where you at on the likes? Where you at on the reshares? Where you at on the comments? Post it to your story. Where are you? Like, why you not doing it? And it took one of my homeboys to tell me like, bro, I might not be under your likes and reposts and stuff like that, but I tell people about your show. And he literally gave me an example. And he was like, it's this young dude that I work with. He said that he liked podcasts. So I just said, check out my homeboy podcast. He said, I'm his supervisor. I've had to come behind him more than 3 times and tell him to stop watching your show and get back to work. And I was like, that's fire.
That is very cool. And I do get that. Like I remember in my episode with Sunny, she was telling me, she was like, the people that support you the most are not your friends.
Yep.
And I obviously, the friend group that I hang around, they are always busy.
Super supportive.
So but they are also very, very supportive. Yeah. If I text them right now and say like, hey y'all, like I told Sunny and Kimaya, Bree wasn't there, that I was doing the podcast, and they was like, oh my God, like when the podcast coming out? And I'm like, I don't know, y'all. Like we just but it's just that alone, like I was already excited, but then like just knowing that I have like 2 people in my corner, like, oh my God, we can't wait for this. Like that gave me like even more gumption to be like, oh, I can do this. Yeah. Because truthfully, to be told, this is my first podcast that I've been on.
Really?
Yes.
That's surprising.
Really?
Yeah, you should definitely be a guest everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
And now, the reason I say that is because after listening to your show, you're good at what you do.
Thank you so much.
You bring a lot of value to your show. You bring a lot of value to your guests. You're able to bring them out of their shell. I haven't finished Sunny's episode. I ran out of free time.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I ain't got.
And it's so funny because we shouted you out in the episode. Did you hear? Oh, okay. My dog.
Shout out to
my dog. And I knew you was going to listen because I know you listen to the pod. And I was like, he going to love this.
Yeah, I'm a fan for real.
I wasn't going to say it though. I was going to text you and say like,
nah.
Hey, my nigga, we shouted you out. But I said, no, I'm going to let him get that off by himself. I'm going to let him get that off by himself.
Yeah. Well, I appreciated it. But more than anything, I love to feel like I'm thought of sometimes.
You want to know something? The first time like I encountered like you and what's the other guy that you do Morning Ox with?
Hey, O'Neal.
Yes. Great show, by the way.
Thank you.
Y'all can be problematic sometimes.
Always.
But when Kimaya was on the show, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had doubted it a little bit because I was like, Kimaya's like, I've known Kimaya since high school.
Oh wow.
And Kimaya has been very like introspective. The Kimaya that you see today, she has always been that type of person. But for me to see her growth, it makes me so emotional when I see her. Because if you only knew the type of person she was 10, 12 years ago and the type of person I was, once again, you would not think that we would be here. And so to see her like shining so bright, being the light that she is so like amazing to see. But it wasn't until I started following you personally and I started listening to your personal podcast. And it was one episode, actually one that you just put out, and you were talking about like relationships and you were talking about like men and how to be a man. And I remember sending it to my brother because he's in a phase of his life where he's just trying to figure out life. He's 26. And he, once again, we grew up with a lot of male figures, but I think he needs someone that is closer to his age range to kind of like mentor him.
Yeah.
Where, you know, he can see eye to eye with that person, if that makes sense. And so I remember sending him your podcast, but I listened to it myself. And let me just say, like, I love you on the Morning Ox, but your personal podcast will do so much for men our age. And I want you to understand that. The type of man that you are, the type of life that you structure yourself as, like, it is so beautiful to see the type of husband that you are committed to being, the type of father that you are committed to being. It's going to be influential for years to come. And so for me, seeing you and like other Black podcasters in like our city doing our thing, that's my inspiration. So to hear you say like it doesn't sound like you like are new to this, it's because of people like you.
I appreciate that.
So it's just, I want you to know, like, keep going. You're like we was talking about before the episode, how like we kind of have a chip on our shoulder. Like, it won't be for long.
Yeah.
Trust that.
I appreciate that so much. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially when I hear people tell me that they are inspired by me, because I don't see myself the same way people see me.
Really?
Yeah. Because at the same time, I'm gonna be honest with it, I see the things that I do as what you're supposed to do anyway. So in my mind, I'm not doing anything special. But when people come and tell me, no, it's different. It's like, oh wow, what?
But
what
you want to know why
doing?
it's so special? Because it's not forced.
I ain't never thought about it.
Like you said, that's something you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's not like you're walking around with a gold medal saying like, oh, I'm the best dad or I'm the best husband. I don't even know like what kind of husband you are like when the door is closed. But I do know like when I had called you up about like some stuff for the podcast, I remember you telling me, okay, I gotta go. The lady need me. We finna go out to eat and she hungry.
Yeah.
And you immediately, you was like, and I was like, oh, he don't play. He is strict about his household. And that's so respectful to see. It not only shows me how much respect you have for your wife, but for you have like the respect you have for your family and your own time. And I think for a man, that's amazing to see.
I appreciate that. I forgot where we went to eat that day. I remember that though. I remember that day. I remember saying that. I forgot where we went because she was standing at the doorway like.
Yeah. TikTok.
Yeah.
And I feel her.
Because my time is my time. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. It's dope. So I first of all, I didn't know you had a kid.
Yes.
Shout out to you, Mom.
I have a 10-year-old. His name, yes.
Just wow. Not the double digits.
He just turned 10 in July. And
Fire.
I will say, I tell every parent this. The days are long, but the years are short.
So short.
I look back, it seems like just yesterday, I was literally in the delivery room having him. Or when I found out I was away at college when I got pregnant with him, I remember being in my dorm mate. I had went home for her. Let me just tell
Let's
this
do
story.
it. Let me get that tea about you.
So I went off to school. My original plan was to go off to South Alabama for college.
Okay. What year did you graduate high school?
15.
Okay.
I went to Clay.
Okay. I know that.
Did you go to Shays Valley?
Yeah. Sheesh. Let me live. Star me out, Debo. Star me out.
I don't know. I ain't know if I was in enemy territory when I said I'm not.
No,
okay.
You good this way.
Okay. Because I don't know when anyways. I remember going off to school and me and my son's father, he was actually in Syracuse? So I have a crazy lore. So In high school, I met my son's dad. We met during my sophomore year. He was the junior. He played football. He ended up going to Syracuse on a full scholarship. That didn't work out. So he came down here to a JUCO in Mississippi. And around that time, I was getting ready to go off to school. And it's so crazy because right before I went off to school, we were talking about like our futures together and if we were going to stay together, because I had like people. It was so funny because I had younger people telling me like, you need to break up with him now because you need to be able to experience college and stuff like that. But I had older people telling me like, y'all should stick it out and see like where things may go. And I'm so glad that we did, even though we did not work out, because I would not have my son. But I remember going off to school and we had came back from fall break. Obviously, y'all know how babies are made, so I won't tell that story. But I remember it was Classic Weekend of 2015, and at the time, the person that, because I didn't have my car on campus at that time, the person that would take me to Birmingham, she couldn't. She was held up with something else. And so I remember calling my mama and asking her, like, can you give me a bus ticket? Can you meet me halfway? If I can find a ride, like, you can meet me in Montgomery, can you please come pick me up? Because I was just like, I need to come home for Classic Weekend. I ain't never missed a Classic Weekend. And for some reason, that entire week, I was just very testy. Me and my mama was into it all the time. And I'm very close to my mama.
Yeah.
It's nothing for us to be into it. But, like, the way we were into it, it was just like, it was something going on. I remember after finding out that I wouldn't be able to come home for Classic Weekend, I remember being so pissed off at my mama. But I'm glad that I didn't, because that was the weekend that I found out I was pregnant with my son. I ended up going home with my roommate. She lived in Biloxi, Mississippi at the time. And that entire week, I was kind of feeling like maybe I was pregnant, but I didn't know. And so she had told me, she was like, how about this? Like, we'll go to Walmart, get a test. If you're not, we won't ever speak of this again. But if you are, she was like, just know I'm in your corner. Mind you, we 18 years old. We don't know nothing about no babies. We in our first semester of college. I'm just trying to make it to school on time. I don't know nothing about no babies.
Yeah.
You know? But to just have like her support in that moment, I was just like, okay, how about I get down the soap out in Walmart, and I threw up.
Well,
I knew then. I didn't even have to take no pregnancy test. I took it.
Yeah.
But I knew then I was pregnant. And I remember saying in the shower, before I told like anybody, I remember like praying. I was like, God, I'm going to take care of this baby. I'm going to be successful. I'm not going to be a statistic.
There you go.
Bottom line, whatever the outcome is on this, I know what I'm going to do. The only thing I asked, I was like, just allow me to have a safe pregnancy. But I know I'm going to be okay. The very first person that I told was my best friend, Taylor. I remember sending her the pregnancy test, and she was like, you play too much. Because I'm one of those people that play too much. Like, I play all day. Yeah. I'm not even lying. I'm a troll.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I am pregnant. And she was like, there's just no way. I was like, no, there's
a will.
There's a way. There's a way. And I remember texting my brother and telling him, calling my baby daddy and telling him, I can't remember.
Him being 30 is crazy work.
Here's the thing.
Crazy work.
Here's the thing.
Fourth, right.
Yeah, well, yeah, technically. He was playing football at the time.
Okay.
And so in my head, that was one of the last things he probably wanted to hear. And I'm pretty sure he had a game that day, or he was preparing for a game the next day. And I was going to wait, but I didn't. Because I want to say, this was like 11 years ago. So I want to say we had been talking about it that whole week anyway. So he kind of knew that there was a possibility. Okay. But I was just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and tell him.
Yeah.
I remember calling everybody except for my best friend and my mom and telling them. I remember while all that's going on, my mom is like calling me back to back because I ain't talked to her, because all she know is I'm in Mississippi with my roommate doing whatever. She don't know where I am, what I'm doing. She don't know that I'm literally sitting on her bed crying because I'm like, I'm 18 and pregnant and I just started college. Like, this is
like last weekend.
Literally like last week. So it's just like what's happening? The next day, I remember we went to a basketball game and my mama already knew that I was pregnant. And she said she knew because my brother and both my dads, my granddad and my dad were acting kind of like strange. She said she knew it was something going on with me. I remember texting her and telling her, like, the reason why I haven't talked to you is because I'm pregnant. And the very first thing that she told me, she had called me and I answered. She was like, you are such a coward. But right after that, she was like, for you to ever feel like I would never be in your corner means that you don't think that I'm the mother that I am.
Mm.
And I remember just kind of thinking to myself, like, I didn't want to tell my mom face to face because, one, I was a coward. But I didn't want her to be so disappointed in me because my parents worked so hard to give me the future that I had. And I feel like it would be very disrespectful, or it was disrespectful for me to be so careless. But it's so funny because when I came home after all of that, mind you, the very next week she was down there when I went to my first like appointment. So my mama has never like been hands off with me. But when I came home, I remember us just like sitting down and talking. And she was like, for some reason, I knew that something like this would happen. She was like, I wasn't saying that you were going to get pregnant, but she was like, I think that I prayed for this child. She was like, because after you went off to school, like I felt so like hopeless and helpless because it was just, you know, I'm very close to my mother.
Yeah.
We talk all the time. And like, obviously growing up in the house with her, we together most of the time. She was like, I prayed and I asked God to give me something to do. And God gave me a grandchild.
Girl, so
I know.
Why she didn't take up pottery or something? Your mom was your op for a little while.
Like,
wasn't it? That was a little
okay.
oppy. Mom, that was a little oppy. What my camera? Mom, was a little oppy.
Like, you prayed for something to do, girl. I don't know. Like,
pick up cycling.
Hello, something.
Yeah.
And she still had my brother at the house, and he was doing all types of sports at that time.
There we go.
You know? But for some reason, she said that she prayed for my child. And throughout my pregnancy, before I even found out I had a boy, I was going to have a boy, I knew that he was a boy. I knew it because I had a dream that I was running on the beach, and there was a little like boy running towards me. And I remember waking up and saying like, okay, I know what this is.
Man, you're so lucky. Women are so lucky that y'all have such good intuition.
Really?
Like your intuition, like the way that it approaches y'all is so crazy and it's so clear.
Yes.
And for men, it takes a lot to get to that point of understanding our intuition. Because in my opinion, I think that you have to be locked in with a woman to really unlock your intuition as a man.
Absolutely.
Because you perceive it how she's perceiving it in a weird way. But finish your story. I'm sorry.
But ever since then, like I said, like, it's been some rough patches. Like I said, along the way, me and my son's dad, we broke up. That's a different story for a different day. But throughout this journey, I haven't been so focused on labeling myself as a single mother or, you know, a single woman for that matter. I kind of label myself as somebody who's like reinventing myself. I spent so much of my early 20s dedicating it to school and my child that in my late 20s, I'm still figuring out the things that I want to do. I'm still figuring out the things that make me happy. Still figuring out the things that make me sad. I'm still figuring all of it out. And it's kind of like, I can't really explain it. It's just the amount of self-worth that I've learned within the last like couple of years, I don't think would have came had I not had my son at such a young age. I think having him so young, it just, one, I grew up obviously
real quick.
Real quick. It don't matter how old you are when you have a kid, you grow up very quick.
That night, actually.
That night, yes. Because you're like, oh my God, I'm responsible for somebody. This person has to contribute to the world. But the amount,
ain't that a crazy thought?
It is very crazy. It is very crazy. And so on the heels of that, I also like watch my appetite, and I'm not just talking about food.
Okay.
My appetite is very important to me because I know the type of child that I'm bringing into this world. And I know what kind of child that God promised me that he would be. God promised me that he would be a change maker. He promised me that he will go out in the world and inspire people to think differently.
There we go.
To feel differently.
You gonna have a podcast, ain't it?
He may. I don't know. He's autistic, so he don't really like to do like the whole like, you know, like he don't really. He's very chill. But he's very direct.
Love that.
And yes.
Easy to understand.
Very much so. Like he very black and white with him. He don't do no gray. He'll tell you what you want, what he wants. He tell you what you're gonna do. You either do it or you don't. He done with it.
I love that. Love that. What a man.
Like I was saying to you earlier, like he's one of my whys.
There you go. It's beautiful to have a kid and have a living, breathing why. My daughter is 7, and I'm talking about wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know I was having a daughter. So my wife and I actually decided not to find out the gender until she was born.
Oh, how exciting!
It was fun. It was fun until it wasn't. Well, because I was just like so convinced I was having a son. Like you couldn't have told me no differently.
Did you want a son or did you?
Duh, yeah, that's what it
obviously.
was. Yeah. I got daddy issues. Yeah, I wanted a son. Yeah, duh.
You know what? That's so real.
Yeah,
that's so real.
I'm honest about it. I'm
Yeah.
honest about mine. I got a lot of things that I'm trying to figure out, especially with my dad. Because in one hand, my dad legitimately is like my second or third favorite person. Like, he cool. He's a really cool dude. Fun to talk to. I understand where I get
second
my...
or third is so funny.
Yeah.
Like, he may be second this day. He may be third this
most days, I'm not going to lie, he's third.
Yeah.
It take my daughter to get to imitating me for me to be irritated with her.
For sure.
And let me not stop lying. My mama and my sisters are all ahead of my dad.
Yeah.
Let me stop lying. My dad like number 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's about 9.
That sounds about right.
My grandma in there too. And that's my girl.
Gotta love Granny. Shout out to Granny.
Shout out to Granny. But my dad, we have this odd thing about our relationship where my dad went away. He went up the road for like 10 years and then he came home and he was on probation for another 10 years, right?
Okay.
And so he just didn't, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is because I try to give him grace because I understand that being institutionalized changes you. But I also understand that as a man myself, that if I want something as a man and I want to have it, I'm going to make it happen. If I truly want it.
Correct.
And
no matter the
circumstances. If I truly want something, I'm going to make it happen. So that means, and the way I interpret it is you truly don't want a relationship with me. Because if you truly wanted to make the change to be the person, to be the dad that you were supposed to be, you would have done it. Because at this point, you've been home longer than you were away. I told my mom the other day, we was literally having this conversation the other day. I said, Mom, do you know that I'm the age my dad was when he came back? I said, we've made it that far in life that I'm the age that he was when he came back after doing 10. So at this point now, there ain't nothing you can tell me about being a father. Because I've also been a father longer than you were before you went away. So there's nothing on this planet that would keep me away from my daughter. Even if I went away like he did.
Yep.
There's nothing that's gonna keep me away from being my daughter's dad.
There are men that are in prison that raise their kids like they make
through the
sure
phone.
Through everything.
Come on.
Through everything. I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But even like you'll see like women who I know this is a very controversial topic. Women who decide to hold their partner down while they're in, prison or whatever. Do what you will with that
crazy
conversation.
word.
Right, hello.
Yeah.
It is to me.
Yeah.
But I've seen instances where like you said, like they were raising them through the phone. Anytime the kids needed something for school, the daddy made sure they had it. Anytime, they were going out to somewhere, the daddy made sure that they knew where their child was at all times, regardless of where that was. And so I'm really proud of you for holding him accountable and saying like, just because you were in prison doesn't mean that you could have been any less of a father that you were.
Yeah.
And so I feel like for him, though, it just sounds like based off of what you just said, there's going to be a lot of accountability that he's going to have to take, but he's going to have like a very hard look in the mirror.
Yeah.
And say like, one, my actions kept me away from my child. Even after I was held accountable for my actions, I thought that my reality and like this bubble that I'm living in still kept me away from my child. So it's just...
It's so hard. Like, I try to give grace as much as possible because I don't know what it really did to his mind about, because like being away like that will probably change your view on relationships with people. Because like, especially especially in the era that he went away. Like he went away in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So like, it wasn't no such thing as sneaking a phone in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no such thing as hopping on Facebook, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was every now and then a picture. Me and my dad used to write letters back and forth. He used to work making license plates at one point, and he sent me a belt with my name on it and stuff like that. Like, I have real life. My dad was in prison experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I was talking to a homie the other day, and he was telling me his mom was locked up for a while, and so he was saying, "I know you remember getting them quarters together," and it unlocked a memory in my head. I was like,
Yeah.
well, I ain't thought about that in so long, but like we used to have to legitimately get like $30 in quarters to go see him, because when you go to buy stuff. And on visitation, everything was only took quarters. It was vending machines, and it only took quarters. It didn't take dollars. So like him saying like, bro, I know you remember that cheeseburger. And it's like, I remember that. Like me and my dad like putting them quarters in to go get cheeseburgers, and me finding out my dad like peanut M&Ms like I do. And like me and my dad just having so many conversations, and like it's like, dang, bro, like I get it though. You was away, you was gone, I get it.
But it was still the possibility. Yeah. Because y'all were building a relationship while he was in prison. For you to have all these memories, and then for him to get out, and there's just kind of nothing.
Mind blowing.
Yeah,
it's mind blowing, especially because before he came home, everybody always had dope stuff to say about my dad. Everybody was like, cause like I used to wonder, like for instance, my mom is only 5'1". My stepdad is 5'7". I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day. And I used to wonder, why am I towering over my parents? Right. Why is it that my shoulders look like a grown man's shoulders at like 14? Why is it that I'm naturally gifted at every single sport I play? Meanwhile, my stepdaddy can't hoop to save his life. He ran track. Pops ran track. That's it. Like, Pops can't do, like, not to say can't, but he just not athletic. So like I'm best player on every sport I play. I can run out and play kickball, swim, football, wrestle, basketball. I play everything, and I was good. And so like I remember before my dad came home, everybody was telling me, you know, your dad had the fastest scored touchdown from goalpost to goalpost in Birmingham for years. Like he had the record for the fastest scored touchdown. Like he liked it.
What school you went to?
Winona. West End. He graduated from West End.
Okay. What year?
93 or 4.
Okay. He wouldn't have graduated with me.
93 or 4. Because my mom graduated 90. My mom graduated, she was pregnant with me in 94. So 94. Yeah, and I don't even think my dad graduated, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it up a buck. Okay. But like, you know, I'm hearing all this stuff, and I'm like, hey man, he that guy. And like everybody, you know, your dad used to keep this on his car, this kind of car. He used to be stacked up brick, this, that, and the third. I'm like, man, I can't wait till this thing come on.
Right, we gonna be straight.
So
right, we gonna be straight.
He got home, and it was like the first few months, it was lit. And then I never forget this. I called him on his birthday. It was the year he got home. I called him. We talked on the phone. It's a great conversation. I hung up. I ain't hear from. I called him. Like when he first came home, I probably called him every day after I got home from school. And then I called him on his birthday. We talked. I called him the next day. He ain't answered. That was weird at that point because we had talked almost every day. And then it was like months. He just didn't answer the phone. And I was like, dang, bro, what the?
Right.
And it's not like I can just go to him. I'm 14, 15. You know, I had a car. And he just randomly answered the phone after like months. And he was like, what's up? And I was like, what you mean?
What's up?
It's like, what you mean? Like, bro, I ain't heard from you. He was like, man, you know, I was in my feelings because you didn't give me a card for my birthday.
Ain't no way. A grown man?
Yeah. But go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go for ladies first.
Here's the thing. Because see, here's the thing. I never want to invalidate how somebody feels. Mm-hmm. And so let me take what I said back. I don't want to invalidate how he feels, but also consider the fact that you're the child and he's the grown up in this situation.
I've always considered that.
You know, so it's just, for me personally, my child don't got to get me a damn thing for my birthday. Yeah. I brought you into this world. My child's birthday is 10 days after mine.
Oh, that's fine.
It is. If there was ever a birthday present that I would ever receive, it's him.
It's him.
It's him.
He is the gift.
Literally, the fact that when I wake up on my birthday, the fact that he'll tell me happy birthday is enough for me. Yeah. I don't have to have anything. Yeah. Not one person has to wish me a happy birthday. Yeah. And so, like I said, I don't want to invalidate your father. But at the same time, once again, it's like how a lot of black men walk around with a chip on their shoulder. Mm-hmm. Like somebody owes them something. Mm-hmm. Nigga, you was away for.
So you was away for something you did.
So it's just like.
So now you got to make it everybody else's problem. That's the part I don't understand
Yeah.
sometimes. I love my dad to death because at the end of the day,
And I can tell.
when we locked in, that's my dog for real. Like, that's my dog. But when we not, it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. And it took me to become a grown man for me to also understand that. Because for a while there, I was like, that's crazy for you to be upset about that. But now as an adult, I had to understand that a birthday card meant everything to him because that's the only gift you getting when you away like that. You getting a card and a photo.
Well, yeah. When you do put it like that.
Yeah, I had to think about it like that.
Yeah.
His version of how I wanted to be loved was a card.
Yeah.
It wasn't a phone call. It wasn't take me out to Applebee's. It wasn't buy me nothing. A card meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
But I also had to understand too is that my dad has never been the person to articulate his feelings. And unfortunately for me and everybody who experiences him, he articulates his feelings by shutting you out.
Yeah.
My dad will pretend like you don't exist in a heartbeat.
My father's the same way.
And it's the craziest thing to me because the way I see it, because I think in his mind that's manly a little bit, right? But in my mind, if you and I have a problem, especially another man, I'm going to address it. I'm not finna let nothing linger. I'm not finna let you think nothing. I'm the type of person, and I try to be like this for everybody. You're never going to wonder how I feel about you.
I say the same thing.
I'm not finna leave you on red like that. Because I think your mind is supposed to be the place where you're supposed to feel safest. I'm not finna impede on your brain about how you feel about me or a situation because you don't know how I feel. That's not right.
It's not.
That's not right. So I try my best to do that. And especially for those that I value, they get that at a higher level. Come on. I'm talking about, I say the stuff that I really don't want to say. Yeah. And I have to.
I'm the same way.
I have to because I love you enough to tell you that I love you. And me using my words to tell you how I feel is how I show you that I love you.
And use them carefully. Because sometimes we can get so caught up in just responding to things that we don't really listen. Like when people say like you're listening just to respond and you're not listening to retain.
Yeah.
I think that was one thing that I had to learn throughout this journey. Like I'm listening to respond to that person. I'm not listening because I actually want to hear what they're saying and I'm retaining what they're saying and I'm processing how they're feeling and how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I got to a point where like I was always meeting people with friction. And so like your dad, I was a total opposite. If somebody had an issue with me, I was ready to either fight or we gonna argue about it.
Yeah.
And so looking back, when you start to like pull like the pieces back and you're just like, why am I so angry? Why am I walking around like this? Why am I doing this? Like, why do I feel this way when I'm always into it with somebody? Or why am I always into it with somebody? Why do I always feel like I have to defend myself? I had to defend my honor, like all that other stuff. But I realized it's because of a lack of communication. I grew up in a household where my parents only know how to argue. Even when they were playing, they were arguing. And so for me, growing up, that is the only way I knew how to communicate with people. And it wasn't until like I had my child and I started seeing like his speech delays and stuff like that and me being so frustrated and seeing that it was doing nothing for him where I was like, I have to make this change. I have to be able to communicate with people on a level where they understand what I'm saying, they respect what I'm saying, and they're able to give me not just the response that I want, but the response that I probably need.
For sure.
So I think when it comes, and not to generalize, but with men, it's just y'all are the total opposite. We are reactive, where y'all just kind of go in y'all shell. Y'all don't let the world know that y'all are hurting. But then y'all are the ones that will go out here and maybe shoot up a classroom or, kill your whole family. And or just like do like a bunch of like stuff, like make unwise decisions that your father might have made in response to just being hurt and not being heard.
Yeah. And I also think that goes a lot into like understanding emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be real, I'm not that kind of dude. I'm I will tell you I need time. Give me some space so I can feel, so then I know what I need to tell you. I'm not the type of person I'm not gonna go into a shell. I'm gonna tell you, give me some space, because I also believe that true clarity comes later. It doesn't come in real time.
I had to learn that as well. But I want to ask you a question as that type of person.
Yeah.
When men say that they need space, what do you think is an appropriate time for you to really think through your emotions and your feelings? Is it situational? Or do you okay.
Sometimes, like for instance, I was on the phone with somebody very important to me the other day, spilling out like how I was feeling in that moment. I was frustrated, I was sad, I was grieving, I was just doing a lot. And I was explaining to this person like all of these things, and I said, hey, I need space. I'm gonna call you back. Can I call you back? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to make my feelings their responsibility, and I also didn't want to bleed everywhere.
Right.
Give me time. Give me time to understand. Let me patch this wound up. Let me close it up. I'm not telling you I'm coming back healed, but what I can tell you is I got to turn the kid on, and I didn't stop the bleeding, and I'm able to articulate what I need right now. Because I think in a lot of times, especially as men, we don't realize we are being emotional because we are not emotionally intelligent.
That is so funny.
We don't realize that.
Me and my best friend were just talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Men don't really realize that y'all kind of like being avoidant is just as emotional as us being reactive.
Yeah, it's
a
emotional.
lot of men don't see it like that.
Yeah, it is. But it's also like we don't realize that we're trying to protect ourselves by separating.
Exactly.
We don't realize that. We don't understand that that's an emotion as well. Protecting is low-key an emotion.
It is.
It's just the same as it's a verb, it's an emotion. You know what I mean? So becoming guarded, becoming like putting that wall up, that's you're protecting your feelings, whether you're gonna say it or not. You're protecting your feelings is really what it is. And goes back to conversations I had with my dad. Like when you disappear, bro, you protecting your feelings.
Yeah.
I hurt your feelings by not getting you a car. But you don't think it's manly to tell me that you got your feelings hurt. So you'd rather protect your feelings and put yourself in a space where you feel like it'll never happen again.
Yep.
But
to never experience it.
And to never experience it again. But in actuality, what you are doing is making that thing happen more often because now I feel like you ain't shit.
Yeah, and you're pushing me away because you're not responding, like you're not communicating with me.
Yeah.
When he could have easily said like, hey, when I was away, I enjoyed receiving cards because that was our only means of communication at that time. I don't know. And I'm sure, even though you were young when this happened, I'm sure you would have had enough emotional intellect to say like, oh.
If that's all you wanted, that's it.
I can just get you a card.
Easy.
I can even throw you some pictures in there.
Easy money. Yeah.
Because his mind frame is probably still like you said, institutionalized. And so for him, he don't know his left from his right.
Yeah.
So it's just, but once again, like you were saying, going back to like that communication and being able to communicate your feelings when you feel them.
Yeah.
Not just when you've been sitting with them.
Yeah.
When you feel them.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's very important. And that's one of those things that you didn't have to harbor on.
No, it didn't have to be that deep.
It didn't.
It didn't have to be that deep. And like I guess that's also my reasoning for being so transparent on my podcast about who I am and the things that I go through, experienced, or the way I'm seeing my way out of it, because I want somebody else to see this and be like, you know what, bro? He got a point.
Right.
There's a point here.
It is.
Because like that's why I'm so big on communicating with other people. Hey, bro, I'm not in that space right now to be who you think I am. I'm just Carrie right now. I'm not K Boogie. I can't be that right now. I'm just Carrie. So it's huge. Look at us healing and not hiding. Doing the work in real time. What we had on time, brother? 57 minutes. Wow. Swear.
All right, I lied. Hour 5.
But yeah. We good though.
We good. So we're gonna wrap up the interview, but I got 3 questions to ask, okay?
I hope they're music related.
No, not at all.
Okay.
First question. With you having the hustle of your podcast, it's now on season 2. If you had to start your hustle over right now, what's 3 things that you would do differently?
I can't think of 3 things, but I can think of one main thing.
That'll work for me.
I would have done it sooner.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
I got the vision for my podcast in June, and my first episode did not come out until October.
Oh, you acted. Nah, you did a great job. What are you talking about?
I did.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because for this specific podcast, I got the vision of it in June. But I always knew that I would want a platform where I am speaking candidly, openly, and I'm, using my vulnerability and my strength to kind of convey to people. I've always known that. I would have done something like this sooner.
That's fire.
I don't think I would have had the courage to do it. I wish I would have.
Mm-hmm.
I think 21-year-old me needed this podcast more than 29-year-old me. That's why I said I would have done it sooner.
That's big. I agree with that. Sometimes I punch myself for not really giving it a shot solo because I started Talk Vibe Hustle with somebody else. I had a co-host. And I did that because I was afraid to do this on my own. I didn't think I had the talent to sit here, speak, and be able to carry a show. But at the same time, that's my name. That's what I do.
Right.
It's literally what I do.
Literally. And you're so good at it. Like, I forgot we was even on the podcast. We just sitting here talking about, right?
We lifing it up.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
And I realized how much we have in common.
That part.
So, yeah, definitely.
I just didn't know. And I think the reason I didn't know is because I hadn't tried yet.
Yeah.
Because the very first podcast I did was in 2020, and somebody brought me as a co-host for their show. I was like the third co-host brought on the show.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. But at the same time, that's why also when I fell in love with potting itself, because I didn't know I was going to be good at it. I knew I was pretty good at it. He told me I was good at it, but I didn't know like how good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it took me to get behind the mic and do it by myself, watch the episode back, and I'm like, oh no, I can do this.
Yeah. Side note, do you ever go back and listen or like watch some of your earlier podcast episodes?
For very special guests, I do. I'll rewatch
Okay.
it. And I'm gonna be honest, other than very special people, I don't rewatch episodes.
I cannot get myself to listen to the first couple of episodes of my podcast.
Oof.
I listen to them for editing purposes, like for my producer. Like if I need to make any cuts after that, like I said before, when it's y'all's, it's y'all's.
Once I shoot most of these episodes and he puts them up, I'll go watch them on YouTube because he asked me to watch something specifically. But I'm not. First of all, I turned it up on like 2-3x speed.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of my own voice. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate my voice. But I also don't like living in regret. And I did an interview with Deontay Kyle, and I didn't like that interview.
Why not?
I can't stand it.
Why not?
I don't think I did a great job at introducing him. I don't think I did a great job of making sure I promoted the show that he was doing in Birmingham. I really wish I would have did that in the first few minutes of the episode. I feel like I didn't ask good enough questions. But I also feel like that based off of his body language. I used to do background investigations on people for a while from my old job, right? So I've learned body language cues. So watching his body language, he was ready to leave. He wasn't really feeling it? He was just ready to leave.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that he was feeling it.
He was bored?
No, I think he had a lot on his mind and had other things to do. And I didn't fully bring him into being here. Like you just said, you didn't realize he was on the show for a hot second. That's what I try to create for everybody. But for him, it felt like he knew that he had somewhere else to be. It felt like he knew that this was taking a while. It just felt like that. And maybe it wasn't that. Maybe he low-key got anxiety too about being a guest. Who knows? But I just felt like it didn't do a good job. So like, I didn't rewatch that episode. And then one day I was at work and I was thinking about the episode. And I was like, I'm just going to rewatch the intro. Because that's the part I really hated the most. Because I said Deontay motherfucking Kyle. Like, first of all, Carrie, talk about the show that he's on. Talk about what he does.
Like,
yeah.
Dang, nigga, like, that's the intro?
But at the same,
okay.
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
guess.
I do my due diligence for everybody
Yeah.
else about their podcast, their show, or whatever I'm introducing them.
But you were excited.
I
You were
was.
excited.
I was. I'm dumb excited. Because it's like he's my favorite podcaster.
Yeah.
Period. Like there's nobody close to like how much I love Deontay Kyle.
And then for him to be your favorite podcaster.
And I had so much to say for as far as the intro goes. Because I did say Deontay the motherfucking Kyle, but then I also said like,
You did it as a fan.
yeah,
So,
I fanned out. On the low, I fanned
real
out.
bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
And so I was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It got me. It got
Yeah.
me. I ain't gonna lie, it got me. But at the same time, like, God gave me that opportunity for a reason.
Yeah.
He didn't just give me, he put my favorite podcaster in the chair within a year and a half of me doing my show. That wasn't by mistake.
Right.
That was my sign to keep going.
It was.
That was my encouragement.
Regardless
that was
of
my,
how it panned out. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless
sure.
of how it panned out, you good enough.
Yeah.
You already good enough is what I felt after that episode. Even though I didn't like it, that's what I knew.
Yeah.
So that was big. Okay, we finna go off on another tangent. You almost got me.
Okay.
You almost got me. Second question. You a podcaster.
Yeah, I am.
Second question. What's the most inspiring thing someone has ever told you?
This is a good question. God. You got me.
We ain't got that in like 3 episodes. Yeah. You know, I'm a little fiend for some validation. I need my head pat. They gotta say it in order for me to feel like it was a good one.
I'll say this. To hear my mother tell me how much I inspire her.
Ooh, that's gotta be big.
My mom is, if not my biggest fan, one of my biggest fans.
Yeah?
And she will always tell people like, that damn daughter of mine, like she's just so poised.
Yeah.
She just does her own thing. Like I love how she loves it and hates it. She loves how fearless I am. She loves the fact that I am able to say no. I'm brave enough to say no, even to her. Because for her, it's just like the independence that she has, you know, it's very inspiring for me. So I would say that.
That's fire.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to say when your parents tell you something like that because you spend a lot of your life looking up to them and being inspired by them. So for them to say that, it's huge. My mom actually told me that recently, like legitimately like 3 or 4 days ago.
And it's a wonderful feeling, especially when you're a parent.
Yes.
Because sometimes you need that.
When your kid tell you.
Yes.
When your kid just tell, like, it was one day I was just having like, I was in my feelings about a lot of life, right? And my daughter said, "You're a great dad." Out of nowhere.
Oh.
And it broke me. It like I don't like crying in front of my daughter, so I'll disappear real fast.
Yeah.
But because I need her to tell folks I ain't never seen my daddy cry. I love that. I love that little boy.
Okay, pause. Why do you need your daughter to tell somebody that she's never seen you
Because
cry?
if these little snot-nosed little boys think that they can rock my daughter and think that like that they getting over on somebody's daughter, like I need you to know that my daddy don't cry. He'll come do something.
But what if it does the opposite? What if her not seeing you emotional, it's hard for her to process her emotions years from now? Move on to the next question. You can think about that later.
So we're going to say that one for your show?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Yeah.
That part. Dang, that's a bar. I ain't never thought about that. Last question. Who do you think the next hustler needs to be to sit in the chair?
Ooh. It's a few.
You can give me 2.
You know somebody that I have been like really like into lately, and I think that would be really good on the show? I think his name is Mojo Brooks.
Yeah.
I think he would be really good on the show. Hold on, just listen. He's very funny, by the way.
He is.
I love the way he tells jokes. I love the way he tells jokes. Because he rides the lines of being kind of problematic, but he scales back. He reminds me a lot of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Or like, Cedric the Entertainer, like, growing up in that area, like the Kings of Comedy and stuff like that, right? They'll straddle the line, but they're not as aggressive as like people like Dave Chappelle. We know Dave Chappelle don't give a damn.
Yeah.
He don't care who he offends to this day. But he straddles that line a little bit. But it was one clip that I was listening to just the other day on Instagram. And you know how like he'll play. I don't know if y'all have ever seen like his show, but you know how he plays into the audience and he'll ask them like questions like who you with, like who is that, blah blah blah. It was one particular clip. He was asking this guy. He was like, "Who you got with you?" And he's like, "Oh, this is my girlfriend." Blah blah blah. And he was like, "What you do for a living?" Blah blah blah. He was like, "I work in like maintenance or something like that." And his girlfriend had just graduated law school. And he had made a joke, but he dropped some gems within the joke. And he was like, "So what is your plan 5 years from now when she a lawyer doing her thing?" He told him that he was still gonna be a maintenance man. He said, "Well, you will not have that girlfriend." He said it within a joke, but seeing the people's reactions, I don't think the guy realized that he was telling him,
you need to level up.
You need to level up. You need to continue to meet your lady where she's at. That's why I feel like he would be a great person. But I ended up going to see, after I saw that clip, I saw another clip of him on Shannon Sharp's show. And he was talking about how his relationship with Monique and how Monique has been like a very big inspiration for him throughout his career and stuff like that. And he was telling Shannon how he had gotten the part on Tyler Perry and Monique had called him personally. We all know like Tyler Perry and Monique's relationship. And he said that he was nervous, but when he got on the call with her, the first thing that she told him is, "You're going to do it. These opportunities will not come often. So you're going to do it. It don't matter what we got going on. That's our business. You let us tend to that. But you're going to do this." And he was like, being on, I guess like Miss Governor or whatever show he was on, he was like, that changed the trajectory of my career. And it was because of Monique. He was like, because I was thinking about not doing it because I'm like, I have loyalty to her. But for her to be the kind of person she is, for her to say like, even in the eyes of like her adversary or like her enemy, I don't know what their relationship is present day, for her to get on the phone and tell him you're going to do it and you will do it well, for me, it shows the type of person Monique is, and it shows the kind of mentee that he is to her.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So yeah, I feel like he would be good. But also, I'm gonna shout out like any of my friends. Like obviously, you've done podcasts with Kimaya and Sunny, so Bree. Who else would be really, really good?
We actually haven't had Kimaya in the chair yet.
That is true. She would be good.
She'd be amazing, guess.
I think they both would be really good. So Kimaya and Bree, like, I'm putting y'all on notice. Y'all gotta come on the pod. They've been on my pod, so they gotta come. They gotta come here.
Oh, they on season 1?
Bree's on season 1. No, both of them are season 1.
Okay,
both of them are. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, both are on season 1.
I'm gonna have to go back.
Yes. Oh, you definitely need to listen to me and Bree's episode.
Yeah.
Because like me and Brianna, we've been best friends since middle school.
You know, I went to elementary school with her.
Really?
Yeah.
Brianna know everybody.
Oh God.
So I'm not surprised.
That's my dog.
Yes.
Like for real.
Yeah. Me and Brianna had, because we used to live down the street from each other.
Swear. What middle school you went to?
Clay.
Oh, Clay. Dope. Yeah.
But yeah, we, her and her sister Naya, they got homeschooled and then they came back during high school. But yeah, I started off as friends with her sister Naya. That's how we got to like know each other. But as time moved on, Naya kind of went and did her own thing. But me and Brianna maintained like a close relationship. Okay. And I want to say like when I came home from school, it was around the time that she was coming home from school as well, or she had been here for a while. But I spent most of my pregnancy like with Brianna.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. She's an amazing spirit.
Yes,
like real
she
life.
Is. She is.
Yeah, she has a beautiful spirit.
She does.
I'm
She's
talking about
very
for real.
bubbly, and she has always been like that. Always been like that.
Yeah, oh God.
Always been like
that. Long
that.
as I can remember. She's so funny too.
Believe me, anything that she said to you, when we get in the group chat, she's saying something 10 times worse.
I believe that. I wholeheartedly
and she will
believe
come
that.
on here. So if she do come on here and say that I say stuff 10 times worse, believe me, I do not.
Okay, so I'm not gonna get no context to when this was said, but I'm curious as to which one, because it's either one of y'all. Which one of y'all said the child left behind?
When like
no, we ain't gonna court because you know what I'm talking about. It was you.
Hold on. No. I'm trying to think of what you're talking about. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'll tell you what I did say though. I'll tell you what I did say when y'all had that conversation about Nemo and Toy Story and what was the other, Lion King, and y'all were like, one gotta go.
Nemo gotta go.
Absolutely the fuck. Now, let me tell you something. One thing I don't play about is Pixar movies.
Okay.
And Finding Nemo is one of them. The fact that Toy Story is not going. What the hell y'all thinking about?
What you
These
mean
toys
not going?
talking to each other.
What you mean? It's a fish talking. What are we saying?
But I would rather a fish talk versus a toy. A fish is an actual like living, breathing thing. But a toy?
You don't know what your toys do when you leave the room.
That's your problem now.
That's the point of the movie.
That's your problem now. Y'all play too much. Finding Nemo had a very good message.
So that you got a friend in me.
Now we on Toy Story 5. He going bald and he's still playing with toys.
What's
See,
wrong
I don't
being
got
bald?
time for that. I don't got time for that.
Eh?
I don't got time for that. Nemo and 5.
Nemo and 5 is funny. I ain't gonna lie. Nemo and 5 is hilarious.
Nemo and 5. Nemo and 5.
That's so funny.
And I'll say it on the record, off the record.
That's so
I'll
funny.
fight anybody about it.
That's so funny. Nemo, don't get me wrong, it's a good movie, but it's like,
I already knew where Lion King stood, right?
it's the big one.
It is. It's the big guy. Now, it's not my personal favorite cartoon. Shrek is my favorite. I can quote
They're
Shrek.
not in the same realm.
They're not. So I know where Lion King stands.
Shrek ain't even a cartoon, it's an animated film.
Whatever. It just didn't need to be in the conversation. Because when Shrek is involved, I'm involved. And you don't want me to be
All
involved.
of them or just the first one?
Not even the first one. The second one I can quote from top to bottom. It's the best one. This is the best one.
The second one was about what?
He went to meet her family.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes, and he ended up turning into like
the prince or whatever. Yeah. That one was good.
All of them are good.
That one was.
And I'm
real
excited
good.
for the one that's supposed to come out next year with Zendaya.
I heard.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited
heard.
for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
I know we're both Biggie fans. Ready to Die or Life After Death?
Ready to die.
Why?
Okay. So I felt like on that album in particular, his lyrical genius was shown more than Life After Death. One More Chance is on.
It's on Ready to Die.
Yeah, and that's my favorite song.
Really?
Yes, that's my karaoke song.
Is it?
Yeah, like
the
okay.
remix or like the one with Faith Evans or the one, because I think Total is on the original one, right?
Who?
Isn't it Total?
I think it's Faith Evans, the one with Faith Evans.
That's the remix. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that song.
Yes. And the video is stacked.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Real quick. You don't see that?
Yeah. I knew. I knew when I walked in what time it was.
That man, just that song embodied what kind of dude I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
But not in like, it felt like honest player. Like he was an honest pimp.
Yes.
And that's what's important to me. If you are going to date, be honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you like, he was telling that girl her flight leaves at 8, her flight lands at 9. My game just rewind. Come on. Come on. But I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. My favorite part about doing it at karaoke is it's very easy to interchange Biggie Give Me One More Chance with Carrie Give Me One More Chance. And so I'll be like, yo, y'all gotta say it for me, yo.
Is neat.
And it's P. That's P.
Yeah,
That's
that
fire.
is cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, do my wife want me to perform that in front of a bunch of people?
Probably
Absolutely
not.
not.
Probably not.
Absolutely not.
See, I'm a Life After Death kind of girl.
Why?
I don't know.
What songs in particular to get you there?
The World Is Filled with Carl Thomas. I don't know. Can we say the N-word on here?
I hope so.
Okay. Because, I mean, we all niggas. But
God.
niggas bleed.
That's my song. I ain't heard that in a minute.
Yeah. But I will say on Ready to Die, my favorite song is the title track, Ready to Die.
Ready to Die, yeah.
People don't realize
That's
like
a song. Have you ever heard that song before?
I work out to that song a lot.
Put that joint on.
Oh
around.
my God.
It's actually a crazy track.
People do not
That boy
believe.
rapping.
Yes. People do not believe that Biggie is one of my favorite rappers when they see me.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be like, "You just so prissy and proper." Like, you know, no, like
Nah, I'm a thug.
for sure.
Yeah, and a pimp.
For sure.
I've been to you as a pimp, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got that pimp walk.
You know what they say.
Yeah.
It's not on you, it's in you.
Yeah. You say ask me 2 questions.
Ooh, okay. Outside of your family, who inspires you the most?
That woman on the other side of that wall is a great podcaster. For real. I'm talking about amazing.
Yeah, Jessica, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm not doing enough on a regular basis.
No, she fine.
Fire.
The fact, it's so funny because I and we don't have to edit this out. One of my goals is to be to have a TED Talk.
Same.
That is like an ultimate goal for me. If once I get that, y'all can wrap it up.
Wrap it up crazy.
Literally wrap it up. No, Christmas time. Because that is like a goal for me. And so to see like people like her like do TED Talks, and I've had like a couple of friends who've done TED Talks. It's just like, and they all say the same thing. Like, I would have never thought I would have gotten here.
Mm-hmm.
But me, and I don't know if it's like a confidence thing. I know I'm gonna get there. I know it's gonna happen for me.
Yeah.
So when it does, I won't look back and say like I would have never. No, I know it's going to happen.
I already knew it. Yeah.
I knew it. I was just waiting for y'all to meet me where I was.
Honestly, I went to the TED Talk and watched it live. Breathtaking.
Yeah.
I left and went home, and probably like 2 days later, I started writing my TED Talk. I'm already started. Intro was done.
I saw a clip of hers and some other people's. I started doing the same. I already know what I'm going to talk about.
Me too. Speaking it into existence. Maybe we'll be on the same one.
Yes. I hope so.
That'll be fun.
That would be fun. That would be fun. That would be fun. That would be fun.
We'll go ahead and speak that one.
I will. Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, that part.
Bottom line.
Yeah, for sure. I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Me too.
Let everybody know where they can find you, what you're working on. That's your camera. Go for it.
Okay. Y'all can find me on, my personal handle is Ange Blakely, so ANGBLAKELY. If you want to follow the podcast, the name of my podcast is called Healing Not Hiding, and you can find us on Instagram at Heal Not Hide. I'm always taking guest speakers. Obviously, this will be another one of my guest speakers on my show. I'm very excited because just based off this conversation, I already know the questions that I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
But outside of that, I am very excited for this second season. I carefully planned what I wanted to talk about. Not necessarily the people. I have like a list of people that I would love to have on there, you being one of them.
Fire.
But this season I really want to get like into certain topics. Like we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about sexual education. We're going to talk about domestic violence. Like I want to talk about all of that. I want to talk about community development. I have some things in the works with a couple of people like in the community. And I also want to talk about like government, with us being like on the heels of a governor election. Yep. The midterms and a governor election in the fall. So like it's a lot of things that I want us to learn about from us. And who's better to teach us than us?
That part.
So yeah, I'm very excited about that. Once again, like trying to get through grad school. Hopefully this is my last semester and I will be graduating in December.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
I feel like I've been in school forever. Mind you, I've only been in school for my master's for like 2 years.
I'm weak.
But it feels like forever.
Yeah.
But outside of that, just you can catch me like around the city.
That part.
Doing pretty much anything. Admin Wednesday. Sometimes I help out like with the girls like events and stuff like that when I don't have nothing going on. I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm doing a little dabbling like with Doug Jones's campaign. Yeah, I got some fun stuff coming.
Okay,
so, like,
motion. Twin got motion.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I did say like this fall I am going to take a step back a little bit and really focus in on like the podcast and like, that versus getting involved in everybody else stuff. Simply because I be so tired for the most part. Like I can't even send an email to somebody. Like, and I don't want to be like that when it comes to my stuff.
Yeah,
I don't want
feel.
everybody else's stuff to be in the way of what I got going on.
Yeah,
like it's so many changes going on like within my life. I need to be present for them. But yeah, like you can literally catch me pretty much everywhere. Like I be everywhere. People will say like, I feel like I've seen you before. And I'm like, girl,
You probably
did.
Yeah.
And I was most likely on the go. I either had to go pick up my child, drop off my child, or I had another event to go to. So I'm literally everywhere.
I feel that heavily. I be on the same thing. It's so funny. Like it's getting to the point now where like people are like, oh, I expected you to be at this event. You weren't there. And I was just like, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you. But no. All right. Superman need rest too.
Literally. And like you get, people will reach out and like, you know, ask you if you go into this event and like invite you to stuff. And you just like, sometimes I don't have the capacity. Because I'm one of those people, I'm a very social person until I'm not. When I want to go in my shell and like go home and be with my thoughts, I just want to be there.
Yeah.
Please do not bother me. I turn my phone off. I turn my music on, or either I read a book. I love to read.
Okay.
Sometimes I won't even have music playing. I'll just have like the little like motion sounds like in the background, like the rain noises and stuff like that, just to relax. Because I interact with people all the time. And sometimes my brain just needs a minute to catch up and really process everything. And I just need silence sometimes.
I feel.
You know? So I tell people all the time, like, if you reach out to me about something and I don't get back to you in a couple of days, it's not personal. It's just, I'm probably overwhelmed with something. My child needs my attention, or I need my attention. So.
That's fair. Well, like I said earlier, I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Me too.
I can't wait to both be on your show and have you back. Obviously, this is an invitation to come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Because I need to defend my honor with Finding Nemo. I feel like.
Yeah, just we're gonna have you on the morning ox.
No, I will. Mm-hmm. If there is nothing that I will get up at 5 a.m. for, it will be to defend my honor with Finding Nemo.
That's crazy.
And I need y'all to know it is just that important to me.
That's crazy for a mid movie. Hey, this has been Talk Vibe Hustle. Hey, it's your boy K Boogs, man. It's been another episode of Talk Vibe Hustle. If you've made it this far, drop a clownfish in the comments for me to let me know that you've made it this far, or just a clown face in general. You did. We'll see y'all next week with another hustle right here, same spot. Peace.
On the ground looking at me now in the DMs trying to hold down. I be calling plays like a motherfucking OC. Now I get the bad when a nigga touchdown. They saying I see ya, I know that you see it. They thinking I'm cocky, I think that I'm genius. The test on the whip out as black as Lupita. My old bitch be calling, she think that I need it. I remember all the hard times, look at me now on me. Had to go and get some money cause I couldn't let them play a nigga weak.